Trying to get the intro popping. What's good, family? All right. I was trying to give y'all some intro music, but it's all good. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. This is your host, the brother Red Pill in the building. All right, let's do this roll call. Oakland is in the building. Houston is in the building. Shout out to Oakland. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to Chi-Town, B-More, Des Moines, Little Rock. PDX is in the building. KC is in the building. Kansas City, salute. London is in the building. Bronx is in the building. St. Louis, Mount City is in the building. Seattle's in the building. Peace. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Richmond, Virginia. Texas is in the building. D Mecca is in the building. Ottawa, Canada. Ratchet City is in the building. Shout out to all of the family in Texas. West Phoenix, Tucson, Arizona, 727. Nashville, 10 a key in the building. Rhode Island in the building. 217, Champaign, Illinois. Good evening to you. Phoenix is in the building. What's happening? San Antonio, New Orleans, VA, Valdosta, Georgia, 229. What's happening? Miami, 516, Strong Island, North Carolina. I see you. I see you. I see you. St. Louis, Largo. I see you, man. Louisville, Kentucky. Salute to y'all. You already. Salute to Louisville, Kentucky, and all of the family that's out there. Dade County, you already know. 314, St. Louis, Hazelwood, Detroit. What up, dope? What it do? Montreal, all the way by the bay. Salute to the bay. Salute to the Oakland. Yeah. Antioch, Tennessee. What's happening? Tucson is in the building. Alabama's in the building. Cali, Sacktown, in the building. So we see that all of the family is connected globally. 302 DE was good. We see the family is connected on a global scale all around the border. Everybody's in the building. We all in here. You dig? Next date for Be More. I don't have it in front of me. Okay. East Coast, Florida. Salute to you. All right. Peace, peace. Dallas is in the building. Peace to Dallas. Peace to Dallas, Fort Worth. Peace to Beaumont. All of the family that's being flooded in Texas. Peace to all of y'all. You already New Jersey in the building. North Carolina. All right, all right. So, like I said earlier, welcome to Third Eye Thursday, episode, I believe, 37. All right. Very interesting week. A lot of things going on in the news, in the mainstream media, especially in the hip hop world. There's been a news story that has been dominating the news cycle in the past few days, ever since the trial began. And I'm speaking of the Tekashi 69 federal trial. 6ix9ine in the building, aka Danny Brasco, aka Snitch Nine. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga's out here. He's telling niggas where Jim Hoffa is buried. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. He's telling Houston is underwater. I just came from Houston and I want to send love and light to all of the family that's in the Houston area. I spoke to my daughter earlier, make sure she's okay. All of the family that's in the Houston area who are dealing with flooding. You dig? Uh, I'm sending all of y'all energy. I'm sure the family on the line tonight, we're going to send everyone that energy to make sure the ancestors are watching over and making sure all things are in occurrence with, just with justice and rightfulness. You know, if you have the opportunity to evacuate any areas that are anticipating any hurricanes during the hurricane season, my opinion is do that. You know, do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that many points for riding the hurricane out, my nigga. They don't have too many plaques pressed up that they're gonna reward niggas for being, in the house on live during a hurricane. We're good. Like, we don't need to tune into that. So if you can, and if you're in what is known as the path of a storm or the eye of a storm, take your black ass and get up and go somewhere where you could basically be in the cut somewhere and you could just be watching things go down like all of us. But if you find yourself in a place that's known to flood, take take notes. Life jackets, generators, ladders, right? Ladders so you can climb to high surfaces like rooftops and things of that nature, even grapple hooks. You know, those of us who live in what is known as areas that are prone to flooding should have developed a defense by now. Or, I know that you can't anticipate everything, but I've been, you know, these have been going on for hundreds, for about 100. They've been cataloging these hurricanes for over 200 years. So at this point in time, simple logic should start kicking in, and people who live in those areas should have been innovative enough to whereas they know the homemade remedies on how to survive and also the Home Depot remedies on how to survive. So we have to learn from all of these situations that are taking place right now. All they are simple learning lessons to prepare us for tomorrow. Once you got past, thank you for the cash app. Once you got past today, you still have to prepare for tomorrow because there's no telling if your day to swim is gonna come or not. You feel me? But the way that things going on around the world, everybody's getting their chance to be tested. So if you're in the South right now and you're being tested by the elements, you know, we wish you all of the energy and all of the light and all of the, may the ancestors part the Red Seas for you. May the ancestors take you to a safe place because they're capable of doing things such as that. They're able to guide individuals who they protect. You know what I mean? They're able to guide you through miracles. There's people who've been through miracles in life, shit that's unexplainable, let alone. And then there's other people who are just been super duper lucky, and they've been able to you know, they've been able to function. So let's get back to my good guy. Let's get back to my guy, Danny Brasco. Okay, Danny Brasco is out here fucking up the game. Danny Brasco is out here rolling out the motherfucking. Danny Brasco is playing his part. Danny Brasco is Wreck-It Ralph. Danny Brasco is a motherfucking virus. Danny Brasco is malware. Danny Brasco is White Boy Rick. He is the monkey wrench that they purposely put inside of that culture to destroy it from within. That's who Danny Brasco is. And that's what Danny Brasco is effectively doing. That nigga got on the stand. He ain't been on the stand but 3 days. He already named Jim Jones as a blood. I mean, we're gonna talk about something in a minute. Jim Jones, right? Remember, this is a RICO case. This is not a regular trial. This is a RICO trial. And this is in the feds. This is in a big boy court. This is not Supreme Court. This is not state court. Nigga, this is not city court. This is the feds, and it's a RICO case, right? So he's named on record as being active gang members who belong to criminal organizations that now, remember, because it's okay when White Zaddy at the record label signs you up because they, you know, and when Funkmaster Flex and all of these niggas are playing music on the radio from all of these people who are gang affiliated, and because white people invite these niggas to the MetLife Gala and they invite them on MTV, everybody thinks it's okay. Everybody thinks, oh, this shit is accepted into mass culture. We all know who the Bloods are because they tell us. Okay? It's in their fucking lyrics, man. You could put a playlist on Spotify and put Blood rappers, and everybody who's banging is gonna come up. It's gonna come up. It's not a secret. But here goes Danny Brasco. He puts it on the federal record during a RICO trial. He said Cardi B is an active blood. He said Trippie Redd is a blood. He said Casanova 2 times is a blood. And not only did he say Jim Jones is a blood, that nigga is on tape basically speaking to the godfather of that set and putting out they want smoke. They're speaking in terms of harming Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying? That could be indictable under a RICO charge, nigga. That's called conspiracy. And if people are not familiar, the majority of the convictions or the majority of the people who are in federal prison right now as I speak are under conspiracy charges. So I'm like, damn. They asking Tekashi simple questions. So Tekashi, this picture that we're putting up, Exhibit C, this is you and the fellas at the Barclays Centers. Do you care to walk us through as to what's going on in this scene? This nigga's like, well, first of all, I was going to get searched, but the security guard is a blood member. His name is Big Earthquake. You can find him at Twitter at Big_Earthquake, right? I had the blicky on me. He was supposed to search me, but Big Earthquake didn't do it because Big Earthquake is the homie. So I was able to walk through. Even though I rang off, he let me keep going. So we had the blicky. Then I went over to the snack bar because I got hungry. And this girl who works at the snack bar, she's still working there right now because I heard she was still there. I think her name is Roxanne. She gave me an extra pack of Raisinets. Go and see her, right? And then after that, I was about to go to sit in my seat to see the fight because we were in Barclays Center watching a boxing match. And the security guard who was working the middle aisle, his name is Michael Edwards. He's also part of the Blood Gang. He skipped us and let us sit into the front. But what was the question again? This nigga is telling on everybody. I promise you, this is all facts. You could research it. The judge stopped the trial today and said, nigga, can you stop telling on everybody and just give us the names that we're asking about? He was like, fam, you're ODing. Like, this nigga, it's like he's just reading names from his timeline. Bro. This shit is disgusting what's going on. But it just goes to show you this is all cosmic. This is 2020. This is the fact that, nigga, the hypocrisy has to end. Someday it gotta end. You know what I'm talking about? The hypocrisy has to end. he's putting an end to it because he is a glitch in this matrix. He's a glitch in the culture. Okay? He's going to destroy it from within. And some people says it needs to be destroyed because it doesn't serve a purpose. And that's the opinion of those people. But the boy is out here ratting. Now, people are like, fam, these people tried to kill him. I saw a video where they released a kidnapping video, right? Where, you know, some individuals who were extorting him. Remember, this is a classic case. This is an open textbook. Sit your children down and show them this. This is required learning for everybody. What do you mean, Red? I don't listen to Tekashi, but I promise you, if you don't have children, your nephews and your nieces, they are somewhat encapsulated in that story. You have to be able to unpack it. You got to be able to show them what's being played out so they don't fall, because you might not care about Tekashi, but I care about your little son that looks like Trippie Redd. You know what I'm talking about? Who could be federally indicted because he wants to wear red bandanas, or he's out here scam rapping or trap rapping about banging a 5 and banging on a set and sliding on niggas and whatnot. Like, they're not playing with these little kids. They're not playing with these niggas on Instagram. They're not playing with these niggas in these trenches, in the streets. Talking about jail reform. Niggas is getting washed up. Are you serious? They hitting you with the bait and switch. Jail reform. Let 10 niggas out who got charged for selling cocaine or drugs and whatever and got a big charge. Meanwhile, thousands of niggas a month are getting lined up all around America by the feds. Not the local police, the big boys. The federales is sweeping niggas up. So, what you're seeing in this case before the snitching, right? As a result of the snitching, as a result of the feds lining this nigga up to where they made this nigga the new Google, meaning that if they type any question into his mainframe, he's destined to answer it. You know what I'm talking about? You're seeing Alexa on a stand. This nigga is Siri 6'9". Talk black to me. This nigga is Siri 6'9". Anything they ask him, what is your name? Daniel Hernandez. Where do you live? He's giving them the address. What did you eat last night? He has to tell them what he ate. Who is the homie over there? He got to tell them who they are. Anything that they ask him as a result of his plea deal, he got to answer it. They done turned that nigga into Siri 6'9". Okay? He's Google 6'9". Yeah. What did they say? Ask Google. Well, ask Tekashi, and he's sure to tell you whatever you want to know. You know what I'm talking about? If he don't know, he'll go and find out. But anyway, this is a classic case of wannabe gang members who are rappers, right? Who are rappers who become gang members after they become rappers. Now, there's a few of these people who we know, right? Not the people who was rappers, who were gang members, then they started rapping, right? That's a different animal. That's a whole nother situation. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the contingency of niggas who are rappers who found it convenient to become gang members after the rap. Those people are the same people who Tekashi is. They are paying for protection. They are paying to live. They are being extorted. There are people in their pocket. These niggas are not gang members. What are they? They're credit lines. They're voluntarily credit lines. You know what I'm talking about? They're ATMs. That's what they are. They're feeding a whole bunch of gangsters, either incarcerated or niggas in the street. And when they decide that they don't want to pay these people anymore, there's been many cases of it. Niggas get their homes burglarized, or they get they self robbed somewhere, and you know, they just get left somewhere, and some people run up in their cribs. The burglary thing happens. You see the video with 6ix9ine. If anybody saw the video, you know what I'm speaking about. The burglary video. They Whoever's robbing you or whoever got the drop on you is usually a nigga that you know, somebody that you stop paying, one of your mans in them who bites the hand, and they line you up. When they line you up, you got a choice to make. You either gonna give up the safe, you gonna give up some jewelry, you gonna give up some bread, you gonna give these niggas the keys to your house, or you gonna get smoked. And for the most part, 8 times out of 10, these niggas give up the keys to the house. And they go and clean you out, take your jewelry, take your stash, take your drugs, take your guns, and then you just gotta, you on your own. You gotta start over again. That's how it works when you're being extorted and you try to act cute and you try to wiggle yourself out and you try to stop paying. That's what you're seeing in this court case. He became a blood because he was willing to pay for protection. Not about being tough, not about being live, not about turning Brooklyn up, not about his gun going off, not about being active, none of that. It was because he was scared. He was paying for protection, nigga. You know what I mean? He didn't want to get a pateki. He wanted protection. So he paid for it. Some women want boobs and a nice, you know what I mean, and a nice fatty and whatnot. Y'all paying for it. That nigga wanted his protection. So instead of walking around with a hammer, he hired guns. And those guns happen to be gang members. Well, this is not the first time in the music industry that you saw this happen. When you go back and do the research on the position that the mafia had in the music industry, the Italian mafia and the Jewish mafia, back in the 30s and the 40s and whatnot, that's what they were doing. Later on down the line, when you see certain things on the West Coast and whatnot, that's what they were doing. And then fast forward into today, when you see everybody from New York who's popping music-wise, why is it that everybody has to be gang affiliated in New York in order to pop? Bobby Shmurda, affiliated, right? GS9, Crips. They sent his mans in them 95 years. They gave one of his mans 95 years in the feds, right? They had my nigga Rod Diggs from Red Hook. He was lit in the city. They gave his ass 3 life terms, right? He was affiliated. Cardi B pops up and she pops out. She's affiliated. Young M.A. pops up and pops out. She's affiliated, right? Everybody that's in Casanova pops up and he pops out. He's affiliated. And then, Tekashi 6ix9ine comes, because remember, he didn't come first. I'm giving you, and then we could talk about Jim Jones and Dipset. They become the first ones affiliated. So ever since the Dipset was popping, or ever since the Dipset had the reign in New York, everybody after that, Dave East pops up, and he's popping, and he's affiliated. You understand? So everybody in New York that's popping is affiliated to a degree. But now the hip-hop police have graduated into the federales. There's no longer any hip-hop police. Nigga, it's the feds now. So the feds are putting RICO charges on gang members in the framework for indicting gangs, and to tie them into illegal RICO activity is being laid out in front of you. If you don't see that, I don't know what to say for you. If you want to sit around and wait and see what that shit would have hit for, nigga, that's on you. You keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm letting you know that they're laying out the framework for what's to come down the pipeline with all of these gang affiliated, unless, there's a caveat, unless you niggas stick to the agenda. You could play in these streets. You could play in the zoo, my nigga. You could play in New York, aka Jew York. You gotta play the game though. can't affiliate yourself with Farrakhan. You can't affiliate yourself with the conscious community because those niggas are hot. They're targets. You can't affiliate yourself with anything rebellious, revolutionary, or what they may term as subversive. You could affiliate with other gang members. You could affiliate with all kind of white people. You could affiliate with presidential candidates. You could affiliate with all of the liberals. You could affiliate with everybody on MSNBC and Fox and all of these other talking heads. You're good. We'll interview you at the New York Times. But the minute you try to incorporate yourself with these streets and the real shit that's going on in the streets, you're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a problem. And that's what we're seeing continuously take place in the space that we have right here. And that's what you're seeing rolled out with the Tekashi shit. If that's not what you see, you let me know what's going on and what it is that you see going on. You know what I'm talking about? They're trying to shut down the industry for what is known. Because when you remove all of those elements out of the industry, there is no industry in New York. There ain't no industry. Because that's what's functioning in New York. Everybody is active. And then the weirdest thing happened today. They said that the thing about Tekashi calling Cardi B a blood member goes viral, right? Then I go on Twitter and Atlantic Records puts out a tweet and it says, at no time was Cardi B in a gang. She's not in a gang. She signed to us. I'm like, fam, we could have conversations, but don't fucking insult my intelligence. Like, we're not going to play stupid while the whole world is looking at us. How dare niggas say that Cardi B is not in the gang and that's what the fuck she rode in on the industry on. Like, let's not play these stupid games where niggas think that they could just, niggas explain to white folk like, no, if that's what you are, you're gonna stand on that. If that's what you claiming, nigga, you don't drop your flag, you stand on that. You know what I'm saying? When you signed up for shit, you knew what it was. Before they'll play your lyrics back to you in these courtrooms. You know what I'm talking about? They'll play your shit right back to you. So I don't know what people be trying, like, don't play, let's not play foolish. You gotta come a little more intellectual and you have to come a little more correct to shit like that. Somebody said she did everything but the damn dance. I mean, come on now. So, it's weird, man. But it's interesting. And like I said, based off of where we going with this 2020, with the vibrations raising up, with all things being revealed and all kind of things being peeled back, to me, this is just part of the inevitable. This is part of the inevitable. This is the ancestors making certain things, revealing certain things. The hypocrisy that we have as a people, the hypocrisy, They mad at Rainbow Boy. They mad at Danny Brasco, but nobody is mad at the young niggas that be on Instagram every day snitching on themselves. Nobody is mad on motherfuckers who be online all day, every day, telling the game, giving it up, putting themselves in all kind of predicaments, snitching on them and making other niggas hot. That's taking place after Tekashi went to jail. That didn't stop. Niggas didn't put a stop to that. They still out there clout chasing. So, if they're going to condemn what Tekashi is doing and what he stands for, I'm like, condemn the whole fucking thing. Because you can't justify one thing and condemn another thing. The whole shit doesn't serve us as a people, as a collective. One iota. It don't serve us as a people, as a collective. It's not moving us towards a goal. It's not moving us towards a goal. Okay? The gun laws in New York is off the chain. You damn right the gun laws in New York is off the chain. What New York is, you know, like I spoke about it in the last previous episode, because of the overpriced real estate in New York, the high cost of living, the exorbitant cost of living in New York City. You know, the fact that it is not, it's very costly, not just rent wise, everyday living wise in New York City. The shit is up there. Believe me when I tell you. So these developers in the city and whatnot, there's an element that they want to get rid of, and then they want to push out, and they want to starve. They want to starve a certain element out. You know, they've already, quote unquote, delivered a death blow to the streets. Okay, street money. You know what I mean? The many income streams that were available in the streets have dried up. Okay, just to, you know, just to be blunt. And you know, as this city and as this town is becoming a tech hub and is being taken over by gentrifiers and individuals who like to pull up to Ed Buck's house, you know, this is becoming it's a different city. You know, it's a different city. And please believe you me that they are going to utilize a lot of this federal investigations, and a lot of this Fed, you know, a lot of this Fed shit is going to be responsible for a lot of things being changing up in the city. Let's just say it like that. You know, let's just say it like that. You dig? You got to remember Trump and the boys over there at the federal William Barr and them. They're out there trying to get death penalties for drug dealers and gang members already. Like, they're really going forward with trying to speed up the death penalty and other little and other you know, and other kind of crime and punishment tactics on people who are affiliated with what they call the gangs. They're not talking about the white supremacists. They're not talking about organized crimes. They're focusing mainly on gang culture. And I know that I speak to gang members. You know, they stop me. We build. So I'm giving out information. You may have them in your family. You may know some. You know what I'm talking about? You may be MCMing them. I don't know. Whatever the case is. You know, you may not give a fuck. You might want them to die like, you know, like everybody else. But what I'm doing is we're cataloging, you know, what's going on, and you know, giving you some context as to why these things are taking place and some of the ramifications that are going to come with it. You dig? So you know, don't get into the hip hop game, bumping your gums, right? Fronting, playing a role that's not you, because at the end of all of that goofy shit, at the end of all of that, all of that weirdo stuff, is it's not gonna end favorably for you. You feel me? It's not gonna necessarily end favorably for you. Son came in on some clown shit. You dig what I'm saying? Son came in on some clown. Really, real talk, as he explains in his court date, his whole thing was about revenge against Th3rd. So he came in, he basically popped off on a beef. He had the energy that he used to pop off. He popped off with Gummo. He said he wrote Gummo as a diss song to Th3rd. And if that's true, nigga, that's the hardest diss song probably in a long time, because that shit was fire, you know? And he was beefing with this dude who is not even his equal. If you ask me, he was, you know, like Th3rd is, he's talented, but it didn't have to go that far out of control. And as a result of him beefing with Th3rd, he got himself involved with a gang that he wasn't a part of, and he didn't respect the bylaws, and he took that power that the gang afforded him and he abused it. People, remember, power abuses, Absolute power abuses absolutely. You have to be careful about who you give power to. You have to be mindful of people who get power and don't know what to do with it. So when he tasted that power, did that protection and the power that those melanated gangsters, those gangbangers, were able to show him by using force, something that a person like him was oblivious to. We're talking about Daniel Hernandez. He wasn't about that life. That nigga was working at the deli, okay? He was working at the deli. He wasn't a gangster, all right? Somebody told him in the deli that he should rap. That's that nigga's creation myth. That's how he started. He was popping in Eastern Europe. He was popping in Eastern Europe. He wasn't popping on the mixtapes. He wasn't popping in the hood. That nigga was almost a plant. But he affiliated himself with a street gang, right? Because another nigga was shaking him down and he got nervous. So he pledged his allegiance to the Treyway gangsters. He pledged his allegiance to Shotty. He pledged his allegiance to Harv, who he's testifying against. And he pledged his allegiance to Mel Matrix, I believe. And that started the quote or Seiko Billy. And that started the his journey into the UBN, the United Blood, well, really Treyway gangsters. And it was almost like plugging an outlet into a supercharger, you know, one of those strips that has all of that power in it. Okay? It overwhelmed that little nigga. He wasn't used to being like that. So what does he do? He gets on the internet and start playing internet games, telling niggas to suck his wood and whatnot, being belligerent, bussies with attitudes. He's inviting niggas to come to his bussy party. He has a bussy agenda. He's being very homoerotic with rainbow hair and facial tats. You understand? These little weird niggas, these little Nas X niggas went galloping towards him. He went viral. They got on their horse and they start riding for this nigga. They start riding for homie. He went viral because he attracted a large demographic of like gamers, you know, Poindexters, you know, young niggas, you know, people from the SoundCloud world and places like that, lo-fi world. And they attracted to niggas with facial tats. They like that shit. That shit is cute to them. You know? They're drawn to that. They're magnetized to that rebellious look. You know, oh, this nigga can't get a job at the deli anymore. He has a full facial tat. You know what I mean? He's about that life. He's serious. You know? And people are drawn to things like that. It's a magnet. It's a magnet. That's a fact. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, he had the trigger. He had the rainbow hair. The rainbow was a trigger. The rainbow was a magnet. Okay? And he went viral because there's a lot of weirdos out there. Just look at K-pop. K-pop is popping. Them niggas is powered by mad. You know, I don't know if they powered by a lot of weirdos, but you know, there's a lot of people out there who rock with alternative, you know, different shit. And he fits in that category. What made it believable was his background. He had a bunch of niggas in the background. You know what I'm talking about? And all red. Red is an attractive color. You can't take your eyes off of red. You know what I'm talking about? Red, nigga. The whole shit was bloody red. And he shot the same video 4 times. He shot Gummo about 4 times. There was a scene with the blickies. There was a scene with a blicky. There was a scene with a cop car. And then there was a scene with, you know, niggas doing that dance, the jig dance. He did that shit about 4 times and went viral. And became an urban legend. And the children loved him. Let me tell you, boy. The children, they ate that shit up like gummy bears, bruh. They ate that up like gummy bears. Okay? The little ones. Yeah, he was the weirdo hero. Weirdos live vicariously through their heroes. Please believe you me. Somebody said Daniel Hernandez snitched on the UFOs. So he went, yeah, he's like a cartoon character to the children. And they gravitated towards him, and he went viral, and he started popping. And as he started popping, he made an oath with a group of people who were his batteries. They were the battery to his back. He was able to talk crazy because he knew he had some real live niggas with him. That would be the Treyway gangsters. And they were out there settling his beef for him, cooking his beef for him, sitting his beef down, folding him up. Them niggas punked Casanova. Let's be clear. You so Brooklyn, niggas punked you. They made you tuck your tail, bruh. Am I seeing things or did that happen? He was talking about, oh, I'm on parole, I can't get busy. Bruh. That's not so Brooklyn. You know? He was cooking a lot of these niggas. Let's be clear. They talking crazy now, but it wasn't, that's what I'm saying. There was a invisible hand. There's an invisible hand. The majority of the people that you see flexing and showcasing power is an invisible hand behind them. Okay? On many occasions, you don't know who the fuck that hand is. That nigga's behind the camera somewhere. But there's an invisible hand, usually an iron fist and a velvet glove. Think about it. Think about it. It's the Amun principle. Amun is the hidden one. Amun is the hidden one. The one that you don't see. Think about this. The majority of the people that are out here hummer stunting, they're not the carbon copy. They're not the original. They are facsimiles of real niggas. They are facsimiles of the hidden hand. They are copies of the original. 50 Cent took his name from who? 50 Cent. The original 50 Cent from Fort Greene. The nigga who was outside of the Saucer Wars in 95's laying everything down. Invisible hand. And then the nigga who copied him, and I'm talking mainly people in the industry. Mainly people in the industry that you see have invisible hands that you don't see. There's always a power behind them that is invisible on purpose. You understand? Rick Ross, that's right. Invisible hand. Convertible Burt, the booby, you know, he had an invisible hand. He had people behind him. You know what I'm talking about? Rick Ross, the drug dealer. Invisible hands, right? 50 Cent, the rapper. He has the 50 Cent. Well, 50 Cent, they weren't like they know each other, but he's getting his power. He's getting his name. He's getting his personage off of another man, right? Rick Ross, he's getting his name. He's getting his personage. He's getting all of that off of the real Rick Ross, off another man, right? The hidden hand. Niggas wouldn't know who the freeway Ricky Ross was if he didn't start talking. He's the hidden hand, though. He's the facsimile that Rick Ross bases his life off of. Jay-Z is Calvin Klein. What's my dude? Emery, right? It's the Haven, the hidden hand behind Jay-Z. Yeah, he was getting money, but he was able to fashion his life over niggas who was really getting money, really laying shit down, really putting in the work, and they were the hidden ones, but Jay-Z interpreted their lives when he became, go and watch the Netflix series that just came out, The Evolution of Rap Season 3. They're going to show you everything that I've been talking about on these shows about how this whole hip-hop thing came about, how Biggie and Puffy created an era, right? It's called a shiny suit era. After Biggie died, after he was killed in LA by gang members, by active gang members, right? We'll talk about that in a minute, right? The three kings, all killed by gang members. Biggie, Pac, and Nip. But anyway, it shows in the Netflix series that after Biggie got killed, Puff and Mace created the Jiggy era, right? The shiny suit era, the all about the Benjamins era. Jay-Z was rapping mad fast on Hawaiian Sophie, right? That nigga was sounding like Twister, okay? He was doing the rap Olympics, the rap marathon and whatnot. Him running against the beat. That nigga's trying to outrun the beat. So nobody was checking for fast rapping Jay-Z. He disappears for a few years. He gets on his street grind. He's getting street money. He's watching Calvin Klein, D-Haven, and all of these other Brooklyn legends who get money, street willies, big willies, right? Because it's one thing when you align yourself with a willie, you are like if a willie takes you under his wing, a big willie, like a kingpin, then you're privy to everything that's going on in that situation. And if you're an artist or a poet, you can articulate it as if, nigga, that was you. Biggie Smalls, his mama didn't know that he rapped. So do you think he was a fucking kingpin? If his mama didn't even know that he rapped, she damn sure don't know that that nigga sold drugs. So who was he copying? Who was he? Who was the hidden hand? Who was he getting hit? I know the hidden hands. Pat from Clinton Hills, Cookie. It was niggas from the Star. You know what I'm talking about? He put them all in. He put them all in a gumbo pot, and he becomes the notorious B.I.G. Okay, he's not a big Willie. He wasn't a fucking. He was, you know, no offense or whatever, but that wasn't his story. It was Fat Chris. He had Leaning Tims. Okay, and they was running with the 666 shit in the beginning. You know, he had the champion hoodie where the cone was melting. You understand what I'm talking about? So he got his story from somebody else. There's always the hidden hand. These niggas are not the carb. They're always a facsimile of something else around them. They draw from the real. How these niggas, you can't be a rapper and a gangster or a big Willie or whatever at the same time like that. It didn't work like that. That's not how the game works. You niggas will force it so you could believe that that's how it works, but that's not how it works. That ain't how it works. There's a formula at play, and you have to be able to peel back the quote unquote. All of these niggas are big, young Jeezy, the Snowman, who was the hidden hand. It was Meech. Okay, who was the hidden hand? Who was he drawing inspiration from? Big Meech. Big Meech ain't a rapper. He's a personality. You know what I'm talking about? He was the Willie. He was giving that nigga all of the impetus to rap like he was a Willie. Big young Jeezy, FYI, is not a big Willie. He was not. If he was moving them things, nigga, he would have been in the indictment when the RICO came and swept up BMF. They would have swept up young Jeezy too if he was really out there doing. If he had it for 17.5, nigga, don't think he was that smart that he was outwitting the feds. It don't happen like that. They didn't have nothing to interview him about because he wasn't there. He's just a celebrated. These are storytellers. Translation, they're the griots. Because the griot wasn't the one who did the quote unquote, he wasn't the character that he was personifying, but the griot went into character and became the character who he was personifying. So the griot would tell the story of the hunter, but the griot don't even hunt. But he'll turn into the hunter because he could fall into character. These niggas is falling into character. How many people have copied Larry Hoover? How many people have copied El Malik? Huh? How many people have copied Chief Malik? Even Chief Keef say he was looking up to one of the homies that got killed on O Block. I think the person that they named O Block after. So always keep that in mind. And always be able to identify who the hidden one is, because they're more important than the person that you see that's in the forefront. Those usually are the quote unquote representatives. That's the light, you know what I mean? That's the second, that's the second coming of. Nigga, that's not Jesus. Jesus. You know what I'm talking about? That's not the Christos. You know? So, yeah, the figurehead. These are certain people are figureheads. You know what I mean? They're not the source. You have to identify the source. Because if you want to if you want to change anything, or if you want to get anything done, nigga, there's a source. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs is when you want to talk about this hip hop right now and what needs to be done or how to change it or what, what direction, you have to go to the source. You got to go to the source. You got to go to the architect. In the movie The Matrix, Neo had to go see the architect. Who was the architect? The architect is the one who wrote the code. There is no Birdman before Puff Daddy. There is no Jay-Z before Puff Daddy. There is no more Suge Knight. So he's not even in the game. So he doesn't, nigga Hasbro has his masters. He doesn't even count. He doesn't matter anymore because he lost the game. The only one, the one who is the progenitor to this reality that we exist in. This is a matrix. This is a code that we exist in. This is a quote unquote reality that has been created. Nigga, Puff Daddy is behind that. He's a Scorpio, might I add. That's Puff Daddy's work. It's not Jay-Z, because as you can see in the documentary that I'm telling you about called Hip Hop Evolution, Jay-Z comes after Puff Daddy. And Jay-Z and Dame Dash and Biggs, their aspiration is to be more flossier and bigger than Puff Daddy, because that nigga took the game over. He ushered in the quote-unquote shiny suit era, Benjamin's era, all about the Benjamin. He made the materialistic shit God. He changed it all. It's not Dr. Dre. He's a factor, but the one who wrote the code, the one who would be the architect in this movie's Matrix is Sean Diddy Combs. That's a fact. No, Biggie is dead. Biggie was the talent. Diddy was the management. In the hierarchy of power, my niggas, the talent is never bigger than the management. Okay? It's the fucking talent. We could replace the talent. Management is higher than talent. I'm just giving you, y'all work in corporate. You know what the hell is going on. You know the hierarchy of control. You know what the ladder is. Talent is not the fucking top. Master P does not come before the Benjamins era. He's a boss. He does his thing, but he did not write the code for where the fuck we live right now. Nigga, what? What are you talking about? He didn't create All About the Benjamins. He didn't create the shit that he didn't do the party shit. Like, no, nigga. He didn't create the club. Nigga, he didn't invent the remix. What is you talking about? He gave you niggas a tank. And people is like, Puffy is a bussy bandit. Nigga, like I said, he wrote the code. He gave you niggas the Jesus piece. He gave you the cross. He gave you bussies with attitude, I guess. You know what I'm talking about? He gave you all of that shit. He gave you Versace. He gave you J-Lo. You know what I mean? He's giving you a sound. He's giving you an aesthetic. He's giving you mantras. He's giving you a way of seeing yourself. That is that man right there. And I'm not giving him all of the power, but he's an American God. You understand? If you understand what that means, if you could unpack that and look at it from a non-emotional standpoint, he's an American God. Okay, yeah, he was throwing parties at Howard and whatnot. Okay, yeah, we remember that, right? But we're giving you, I'm just trying my best to give you a rundown, looking at it through a red pill lens, that right there is an arc. He's not the only one. It's other people at play as well, but he is an architect for an era that hasn't been put to, they haven't ended this era yet. There's no bookmark. This era has not been bookmarked. This era, if we go to, if we go down south right now to Atlanta, which has the Crown, what are they talking about? The same things that they're talking about right now. Gucci. They just added a few new fucking foreign designers. Foreigns. Gucci. Get Money. Icy. Drippy. Shining. You know, I got a foreign shorty. Da 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 da. I got bad shorty. I got this. I got that. I own. I got and you don't. I got and you. That's all coming out of tunnel era, New York, bad boy era, New York, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, New York, starting from Big. It started with Big, but Big died. Then Mace picked it up. Then Puff picked it up. Then all of these other people like Jay-Z and all of them, but they are running off of the quote unquote, nigga, even your man Nas tried to run with it. He tried to, you can hate me now. You got to remember they're still operating off of this egregor, or they're still operating off this algorithm, or they're still operating off of that code. You know? They're still functioning off of that code. And that's what you see playing out. All of that money talk that these niggas is down south doing, flossing, y'all hopping out of foreigns, y'all getting drippy, you wearing designer. Nigga, that's old. That's old, nigga. Nigga, that's hardened like grits. That's the 90s. That's the 90s. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, that's some 1990s shit. Early 90s. Like, we was on that wave in 93, 94, standing on couches with the you know what I mean? With the Balenciaga shit on, with the motherfucking Chanel, with the Dior, with the iceberg. I be on the elastics, with the Gucci bucket, the motherfucking Gucci jean suit, the Gucci belt buckle, you nigga, the Gucci backpack, the Gucci boots, head to toe. And we didn't pay for none of that shit. How about that? How about those apples? What did you talking about? We did Polo to death. The same shit that they bringing back out in the retro right now, that they trying to reintroduce to the millennials. Nigga, we did all of that. What is you saying? Hopping out of everything. There was up to that year, all the way back then. But that's not to take away what people are doing today. I'm not trying to discredit everybody having their fun and flossing the way that they know how to floss. You know, we did what we did. And everybody deserves to express themselves, especially those who are feeling, you know, that they have to break out of the prison of poverty. And they do it with some designer. You know what I'm talking about? And some motherfucking baddies or some foreign cars. It's all good if that's what you got to do. But how long we going to do it? That's all I'm saying. It's 2020, my niggas. Like, are we going to evolve past that? Is it going to fucking turn into something better? Is there going to be some power attached to it? Are people going to take back, you know, ownership? You know what I mean? Are we going to implement a black tax so we could benefit and profit off of all of the illicit activities that go on in our community that nobody is benefiting from? Everybody's just losing from it eventually. You know, it's too much potential that we have as a people to just allow this thing to perpetuate itself when we see from a Tekashi 6ix9ine standpoint, this shit is dead, bro. How could you repair it? How could you repair certain things? How? This culture, this death culture that people be trying to hold up, and they swear that this thing is the best thing since sliced bread. Come on. This is federally monitored, you know, federal informant laden with federal informants, right? It's a rest haven for federal informants and people who are just trying to sell other people up the river and ruin their lives to basically fix their lives that were ruined by mistakes that they made. That's what a snitch, that's what these informants are. Niggas who got time, who fucked up and made the wrong decisions. Now they are gonna use you as a pawn, or they're gonna use you as a get out of jail free card, fuck your whole shit up, bury you in a shallow grave so they can stand on top of your grave and piss on it. You understand? And pull you down like a crab in a bucket. That's what we are comfortable with our children and our young ones, and even you old niggas that want to start gangbanging at 60. That's what we comfortable just allowing y'all to go and do. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that we're repeating the mantras, and we in a car with little 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, and we playing the motherfucking Gangland playlist because, like I said, on New York radio, everybody on the radio's in a gang. Casanova, Cardi B, Young and May, Bobby Shmurda. They still play Bobby Shmurda shit to this day. It's a whole bunch of people. So it's cute to play it on the radio, but it's something that people are trying to avoid because it's being used against individuals to put them in a federal courthouse because you could get a RICO charge for just being a gang member. I don't understand. I really don't understand. These niggas are scared to say, you got niggas scared to say that they're hoteps. You know what I mean? You got niggas that scared to say that they conscious. But everybody's supposed to be running around, you know, publicly, on social media, in front of the world, claiming their affiliations. You know, I think the community should have a long conversation about where this thing is going. You know, I'm talking about Pop Smoke. Yeah, who he roll with? I can't keep up. Who he roll with? And I don't. That's just my preference. That song doesn't do it for me. That flow don't do it for me. I'm sorry. Blame Complex and DJ Academics too. Oh, for sure. DJ Academics gets mad blame. He's a kingmaker, and he kingdom. You know. I don't know about Academics' power right now, but in 2017 he was a kingmaker. You know, he could have shined his light on a Conscious. He could have shined his light on a regular rapper, just somebody with bars like a Kambada. He could have shined his life on. He could have shined his light on a plethora of artists. He didn't have to shine it on the young boy, because he knows if he shine, he know his kingmaker power is so, it was so intact. This is before he got on Everyday Struggle, because that fucked up his whole wave, right? Everyday Struggle messed up Academics' wave. He had a better wave when he was just on the internet. Before he sat down with Joe Budden and them, he was better. Okay. Oh, Pop Smoke is a Crip. That's what's up. So yeah, that Kambada is fire. The new one was retarded. Academics said he doesn't like conscious rap. All right, well, Academics is a Jamaican. He could have put on one of these Jamaican niggas. He could have put on Casanova. He could have put on somebody who's from Jamaica. You know, he didn't have to go behind and co-sign this kid who was not who he said he was. I mean, all you had to do is hang out with him for a few minutes, then you would know that he wasn't who he was proclaiming to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Joe Button exposed how immature and how uh, childish DJ Academics was on Everyday Struggle. That's why I said that show wasn't good for him. Yeah, he's a bussy gamer. You know what I mean? He has that nigga has a lot of Malik Yoba tendencies. You know, he has a lot of he'll try to justify the fuckery. You know what I mean? That nigga has yoga tendencies. So he's the yoga flame. You know what I'm talking about? So he has the power. He had the power. He don't got the power like that no more. But he had the power, just like a lot of other influencers that are out there who will not get behind real music. They're the first commentators, but they don't push real music. At least on this platform, we at least push Cambada. We at least push Cyroc when we was on. We used to always play her on Know the Ledge Radio. We push our music. You know, we push the solutions. We'll talk shit about the fallacies out there, but we're gonna push the solutions. We're gonna show you what the shit's supposed to sound like. You feel me? We're gonna show you what it should be sounding like. There's other platforms and there's other DJs and there's other people who are influencers who got millions of followers. They don't do that. They have chose not to push the alternatives, but they want to talk about a Tekashi all day. They want to talk down to him all day. But they're not giving you the solution. They're like, yo, Tekashi, I ain't feeling him. He's a fake blood. Yo, check out my nigga Blueface from LA. Remember, because when they were done with Tekashi, they picked up right where they left off and started giving you niggas Blueface. And you bought it. And you bought it. The minute Tekashi's star was whimpering, was falling, as soon as his star began to fall, they started selling you niggas Blueface, and you bought it. No, Academics don't need to have power down south. Academics is on the internet, my nigga. Academics was on a wave. That wave covers over down south and all around the world. He was buzzing on the web. He was buzzing on the web. So it didn't matter. He could king make you on his channel. Niggas is popping off of Instagram, bro, and YouTube. People's whole lives are changing. They're becoming megastars off of popping off of the internet. It ain't about the region like that. You know what I mean? The region is one thing. You could be popping in your region, but you could pop niggas off of Twitch. You popping niggas off of TikTok. You popping niggas off of the gram, off of Snapchat. It's a whole nother game now. It's a whole nother game now. So in 2017, he had that power, and he used his power to put a fire, and he put his engine behind Tekashi. Tekashi was using other little things in the industry that helped him with digital distribution, amongst other little things, because he's not a stupid Negro. He's not dumb. He's not a retard. Pardon me. I can't say the word retard, but you know, he's not one of these short bus niggas. He was intelligent. He was not dumb. Don't get it confused. It's not stupid. You know? So he benefited off of that. And boom. Here it goes. Here you go. This is the ending of a chapter. This is the bookmarking of a chapter and the beginning of a whole new one, because it's going to either create new monsters or it's going to stop some of these clout chasers in their tracks. The king of the trolls is now Donnie Brasco, the king of the snitches, the king of the rats. Well, let me take it back. I'm not saying that he's brilliant. Let me not say that the boy was brilliant, but I'm saying that he's not stupid. He plays dumb. I talked about this before. He's one of the many people who are in the industry playing dumb. It's a whole bunch of niggas playing dumb. He's just one of them. He's not that dumb. He's a he's way in over his head, but creatively, I'm saying he wasn't stupid. He understands aesthetics. He understands certain other things, and he used it to his advantage, right? And he used it to his advantage. He understood the attention economy. You know what I mean? A lot of things weren't being done by mistake, as you see in his testimony against himself. Yeah, somebody said his baby mama said he was studying to be a lawyer before rap, trying to explain to the family out there, once again, these are smart niggas playing dumb. They wind up copying, or they wind up becoming or living vicariously through another character, an alter ego, who is carbon copies of some real shit, right? But these people are smart enough to whereas they could fall into character, or they could adapt a role, and they sell you that role. They sell you that role. It's not even a crime. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way that the game goes. Thank you, Brother Jamal, for the Cash App. That's the way that the game goes. You know, it's entertainment at the end of the day. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? You know? Yeah, 2 Chainz. What do you got? PhD or some shit? You know? This thing, it was like a 4.0 student. Right? A 4.0 student. 2 Chainz is intelligent. Where's the intelligent lyrics at, though? I think that he intelligently played the role by recreating himself from Titty Boy to 2 Chainz. I think he was intelligent enough to play like a trap rapper long enough to where he parlayed it. Plies is another one who is extremely smart. Okay? Plies is very smart. Plies is also a graduate. When Plies is not talking like Plies that you know, Plies is sounding articulate. Tip Harris, Mr. Expeditiously, extremely intelligent, very wise, very well spoken, very well mannered. But when he's in his persona or his alter ego called T.I., you would think that he doesn't know anything. You would think, if you would not, if you're not a fan or whatnot, if you're just taking it for surface, you're like, oh, this nigga is just, he's not a thoughtful person. He's not a thinker. He might be a doer, but he's not a thinker. But when you listen to T.I. talk, oh my goodness. Meg Thee Stallion, she's talking about all kind of illicit activity, all kind of pimpery and whatnot, and it comes to find out Meg Thee Stallion is a college student with a very high score, a very high score average, very articulate, a fan of manga and other kind of Japanese art. She's acting the role. She's playing the role. Roscos to me has always been intelligent. I haven't followed his career like that, but that's the one who wrote The Nature of the Threat. He himself, very intelligent. You know what I mean? Put out one of the best conscious underground songs of all times, Nature of the Threat. You know? Yeah, Soul on Ice 2, all that. I saw him personally and told him that he was a super legend. And when I heard his album, when I heard that song, Nature of the Threat, I was in Atlanta. It was like 2003. I laid on the floor for like an hour trying to dissect the whole shit because I never heard nothing like that in rhyme form. It blew me away. It blew me away. It starts short circuiting the chip. Ice Cube, O'Shea Jackson, Mr. Gangster Rapper #1 coming out of Compton. Niggas thought he was a gorilla, right? Thought he was a stone cold killer thought he was on parole for 8 bodies. Come to find out, this nigga's a thespian. He's mad smart. College student. And all that. College student. Mad accomplished. We could go on for days. Yeah, Lil Wayne, with all of the classes that he passed in college, with all of his GPA, he was taking up human psychology or something. You know? These people are not stupid. These people are not slow. These people are not dumb. These people are not, they're not mentally challenged. But a wise man could play a fool, but a fool could never play a wise man. So people are out here playing fools. They're playing fools because the majority of the world, they will reward you for being a fool. The black man, especially the melanated man in both continents, right, and in America, is expected and protected. If a black fool is in a protected class in America, nigga, you're in a coonish, you're in a coonish circumference. You're safe. You know what I'm talking about? If you a black fool, my nigga, they'll take care of you. They'll reward you. They'll reward you. You'll be rewarded. They'll call you out when they need you to dance. They'll call you out when they need you to dance. And you'll come out. They'll call you out when they need you on the short bus. They'll call you out when they need you, to show them a new move or a new dance or a new twitch. You're on a coon train. And there's mad comfortable seats on that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Coach leather. The shit mad soft. You're loving it. You're on the coon train. Nigga, and it's a bullet train. It's going mad fast. You on that bitch twerking, eating Popeye's chicken. You feel me? You on there doing chitlin circuit stand up. You know what I'm saying? You on there nigga splaining. You're on there shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. You on there doing R. Kelly shit, being a pedophile, being a Pied Piper. They like shit like that. They'll protect you for many, many years. They will protect you. They'll fund you. They have programs that will fund you. They'll protect you. They'll look over you. They'll take your case pro bono. They'll get you out of all of your situations. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And then you'll wind up at the Rock Nation brunch. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how they feel comfortable around you. That's how if they're able to control you with their dollar, or if they're able to control you with a contract, or if they're able to control you with blackmail, if they're able to control you with extortion, that's when they feel comfortable. It's the same exact mind state. It's the same exact scenario in the motherfucking zoo. If they're able to control the lion, if they're able to control any of the wild beasts, then they feel comfortable around them. Once they're domesticated, once they're in a controlled environment, these people let their hair down and they're comfortable around them. But the minute that you niggas is on some wild shit, the minute you on some Serengeti shit, the minute you're acting primal, the minute you're acting untamed, the minute you're acting unpredictable, oh no, you got to go. You got to go. You know what I mean? They're not comfortable with that. You got to go because you now become a threat. You now become a threat because, you know, they don't know how to deal with that tribal energy. They don't know how to deal with black matter, dark matter that's unpredictable. They don't know how to deal with your melanin popping. They get when you get on your tribal shit, that's a trigger because it brings them back to when they used to get scalped. It brings them back to when they were getting chased down and put in bondage. It brings them back to when they got their asses handed to them by people like the Geechees and the Gullas and whatnot. So they're not trying to be in that environment. You will trigger their fragility. You trigger their fragility. So they want niggas in a box that is controlled, where you're domesticated, where you niggas are behaving yourself, where you're acting, you know what I mean? You're acting in accordance. Leave your balls at the door. You know what I'm talking about? And get your leave your balls at the door. That's how they operate. That's how they operate. They don't want you to be a man's man in their quote unquote in the environments or in their safe spaces. Oh man, if you tribe up, if they see too many tribe niggas getting together and tribing up, they'll stop the party, bro. You know what I mean? They'll turn the lights on and some shit. Like they'll activate a motherfucking mass shooter. Like they're not trying to see that. They don't want to be around that. They don't want to see you niggas link up and form any kind of Voltron. They don't want to see you organize. Like, that's out the window. You know, don't be too masculine either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't be a man's man. You know you niggas is out here code switching. You know you niggas is out here code switching. Sorry to bother you. You know what I'm saying? I know it. You know it. We see each other. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas get all bilingual around certain people. They start talking a whole nother tone and excuse me. What did you say? And they give you the Jay-Z laugh when he was with Roger Goodell. They hit you with the Jehovah laugh at the NFL. With the fake Negro laugh, nigga. With the Sidney Poitier laugh. Fuck out of here. Niggas hear you with the Harry Belafonte cough. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. How did the OGs in New York let this happen? I don't know. Where the OGs at? I thought they was down south with y'all. You know, I thought the OGs got ran out when the rent was too damn high. Nigga, the OGs is on a GO. They on a go bus. They on a go-to bus, nigga. The OGs went to GTO bus. That's a fact. Nigga said the OGs. Ain't no OGs, nigga. I'm sorry to break it to you, bro. You be hard pressed to see 5 OGs in New York walking together. They on scooters now, bro. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that Dipset era done fuck shit up, man. Salute to them. But too many niggas didn't survive that era, bro. Too many niggas did not survive. They didn't make it through the Dipset era, through the belt buckles with the skulls on them and the rhinestones. They didn't make it past. They didn't make it past go. I'm sorry to break it to you. You know, niggas is definitely washed out here. Niggas is, it's a tsunami. You feel me? Nigga, it's like Harvey was out here, man. Niggas is washed. Streets is washed. Real talk. The streets is Grand Bahamas, nigga. It's underwater. It's wash. Spin cycle. That's a fact. Somebody said they stopped buying weekly bus passes. uh, Niggas couldn't. They couldn't when the weekly passes went up by like $2. That pushed a whole lot of people out of here. And I'm out here playing games, joking with y'all. But nigga, I might be on the next thing smoking. I can't. I could take but so much. The OGs are on Vlad snitching. That's where the OGs are at. Trying to sell books on Vlad dry snitching. You know when the niggas in the back alley kicking over garbage cans if somebody ran up on... Nigga, you dry snitching. They all on Vlad TV trying to sell books. Telling on themselves. Like, there's no more game, yo. The game is done. We have to have this conversation. Let's have a Revolt TV panel. A summit. And I'm saying, let me rewind what I was talking about with P. Diddy about being the architect. Now, the architect of hip-hop, of the modern-day hip-hop where we're at right now, he just had a summit at his Revolt thing where he put together a panel where certain words like sovereignty and black people don't have a nation, that was entered into the popular lexicon. You understand? Because at the end of the day, yeah, I get it. I understand. People were not feeling certain people's statements because it wasn't in alignment with the agenda. But what I also walked away with is that certain things have to get introduced into the mainstream lexicon or into the collective consciousness. And during that panel, the most important thing that was said, in my humble opinion, you could come up with your own review. The most important thing that was said in that whole thing was the fact that T.I. got up. This nigga has a trap museum. This is, nigga, he's the creator of trap music. He said it himself. It goes down on a record. He is the father of trap, right? Tip Harris, who, before he caught the gun charge, niggas was really believing him. They were scared of T.I. down south. I was there. They bought everything he was selling them. Before he caught the gun charges, that nigga was Jay-Z of the South. You niggas might be too young to remember T.I.'s reign, but I was in Atlanta. This was before BMF rose up. This was like in 02, my niggas. T.I. was that guy. 02, 03. He was really that dude in Atlanta. He was that nigga. Y'all watching the show with the little children and whatnot, and he done softened up his image because he's on parole. But before he got that beef with Shorty Low, he was that nigga in the A. That is a fact. That's a super fact. Ask anybody from Atlanta who was out there about your boy T.I. Before Pimp C came home, when T.I. was washing up Little Flip and them niggas. He was that dude. And then when he called himself the King of the South, how many niggas popped out and challenged him lyrically? He had bars. You know what I mean? Shorty Low fucked up his whole shit. People like T.I. the police. Hey, show me the paperwork, because I'm still waiting to see that though. But Rubber Band Man was on stage talking about sovereignty and telling black people that you niggas don't have a flag or a nation. Nigga, in 2019. And then Puff Daddy, Mr. Shiny Soup Benjamin, was the person who facilitated that. Nigga, that's a victory. What is you talking about? In the scheme of things, understand, I'm speaking about it from a teacher's perspective. I'm on the front lines, growing gray hairs, trying to teach my people with a fucking shoestring budget, no support. Niggas I don't have no back. I don't got the Verizon people behind me. It's just little old me speaking to tough people about tough pills that they need to swallow, nigga. That's not an easy fucking thing. I'm doing this shit damn near on my own. So I could use any assistance from the influencers that I could fucking possibly get. So when Tip Harris is up there talking about sovereignty and all of this, it's a conversation starter, right? Niggas is not gonna understand the concept of sovereignty until they start feeling like one, and until they start walking and talking like one. So we don't even have to have a sovereignty conversation if niggas is still living like motherfucking chattel slaves. That's not even, that's not your lane. You understand? That's like talking about motherfucking Rolls Royce engines and you niggas is at the Honda dealership. You're just not there yet. So I'm cool with that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm cool with that. You're just not there. And unfortunately, you can't even have conversations like that on the boob tube, not on the YouTube. You're not going to get me on YouTube speaking about certain things that, categorically are considered to be federal indictment worthy conversations. No, not I. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not that pressed, But what I would say is to be sovereign, it's a state of mind first and foremost. Niggas need to start thinking like bosses. That's basically what it is. Oh, there's no sovereigns. Nigga, lies and deceit. It's a state of mind, first and foremost. It's a concept that will eventually become a reality because the pendulum has to swing back. All right? Fuck what anybody says. It's not about what you, fuck your niggas' feelings. It's not about what you say. It's about the pendulum. It's about the fact that it's swinging back and it's gonna touch niggas who were sovereigns before because that's what we were. And that's all factory. That is all a fact. So the fact that that conversation is gonna be had on a bigger stage, it's all right with me. Cause I could have reparation conversation and sovereignty conversation and nationality conversation, and all of those are related to each other, and not feel a kind of way, and not have to utilize a European concept of fragmentation. Instead, I could utilize a African mind state of holisticness and put it all together. Because I'm a leader like that. You understand? My mind is mature and is developed to where I could put all of these things in a cohesive state. Certain other people, because of their agendas and because of the fact that they are not coming from a standpoint of a leader, they don't know how to do those things. They could only pick one out of the other. They're still fragmented. What I think about the lawsuit against Comcast, I think that's very important. Everybody needs to stay on that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to stay on that. Everybody needs to get very familiar with the case between Comcast and Byron Allen because, it's going to help us in the long run. We need to see what that looks like. We need to know what real power is talking like and what it sounds like and what it's moving like. That man got some power. Byron Allen, he has some spending power. And he's pulling off the covers of these organizations, these multi-billion-dollar, multinational entities, and he's showing you how they don't have our best interests at hand at all. Iran bombed the U.S. oil field. No, they didn't. You don't believe it? You believe that stupid shit? You believe that? They all seem like sellouts. Nobody has talked. See, you're interjecting personal politics with Killer Mike and T.I. and other things. Look, I don't know what these niggas are. I don't know what they are. Sellouts, selling you up the river. Whatever you see, you need to go ahead and find out who they are. You should do the research. Crack the case wide open. You understand? Bring us some receipts back. Bring us some receipts back. You feel me? Bring us some receipts back. But if they are or if they isn't, The fact that they sparked a conversation, that's not, that him sparking a conversation, that don't got nothing to do with selling out. You know what I'm saying? Him sparking a conversation is him sparking a conversation. That's why I see it as. And it allows certain individuals to teach and to educate and to take it a little bit further. If you would have loved to see David Banner up there, then you should hit David Banner on the inbox and ask him what is it going to take to have him on a panel with other teachers and other scholars and other thought leaders so that conversation can begin to, because we need continuums. We need the conversations to continue, because believe you me, the conversation is 100 feet taller and bigger than T.I. and Killer Mike. It's okay if it starts with them. These niggas are rappers, right? These are rappers. So it's all right that the conversation can start with them, but they're rappers at the end of the day. They're MCs, microphone controllers, masters of ceremony. They're not thought leaders. They're not frontliners. They're not quote unquote master teachers, nor are they scholars. So I'm, like I said earlier, to see influencers start a conversation, that shit is great to me. It's cute. But it damn sure is not going to end with them. It won't end with them. It can start with them because these are influencers. So when an influencer starts a quote-unquote conversation, they have the ability to start a quote-unquote trend, or they have the ability to capture the minds and the hearts of millions of their followers who at one point had no fucking idea at all what these lexicons or what these words or what these concepts were. Now they're more susceptible to listen and to interpret or to take in the information that people at a higher level will begin to roll out. Do you see how that thing works? It's a simple, it's not that simple, but it's a process that takes more than one person to, to break it down. You understand? The influencers, influencers influence the people. The influencers are influenced by outside people, like Jay Morrison influenced T.I., who's an influencer. T.I. has more people that he influences than a Jay Morrison, but Jay Morrison influenced an influencer. Now that influencer said certain things to the people who look up to him, who he's influencing, and then after that, the follow-up would be people who can articulate and to unpack and to break down or to debate what he said. Now it's time for them to get on the stage and rock. So the people who are interested into learning more, they get more information that they can process, because this is about processing information and turning what you have processed into a form of an actionable item. Okay, Jay-Z taught me that word, right? That's what you do. The influencers are the problem because they're chosen and controlled by massa. That's what I'm saying. I understand, and I've said the same thing before. But with the influencers, the reason why the influencers are important is because the influencers can be influenced by brothers such as myself, by brothers such as a Jay Morrison, by brothers such as a Tariq Nasheed, by brothers such as a Brother Rich, Brother Blue Pill. I could go on for days. KT the Arch Degree, I could go on for days. I know personally, Brother Rizza Islam, 19 Keys, Derek Grace. I know personally mega macro influencers, people who have 500,000 people or more who are directly influenced by individuals who are not their master. They not their master. You know what I'm talking about? They not their master. So I don't live in that victimhood world. I live in a victory world. I wear Nikes, my nigga. I walk in victory. So I don't think in that kind of victimhood mentality where I'm like, oh my goodness, everybody is against us and nobody. No, nigga, niggas work for us. What is you talking about? inception. You plant the ideas. You plant your narrative. You control the narrative. You give people talking points. You understand? You steer the conversation. So you influence the influencers and you let them get busy. And then you work that magic, my nigga. Chaos magic. You got to learn how to use it. Meme magic. You got to learn how to utilize the powers that exist because we're limited. We're not throwing money at nobody. We're not lobbyists. We're not buying your loyalty. We're not buying the narrative. We're pushing it. We're pushing it. And in a perfect world, you will push it with strength. You know what I'm talking about? You will push it with strength. You will be able to have strength behind you, like how a Tekashi 6ix9ine signed up to have strength behind him because he knew that his message was going to be reverberated. It was going to, the echo is going to go into an echo chamber. His message was going to be heard by more people because he had force and he had power behind him. That force and that power was guns going off. Niggas heard that shit. They heard the blickies going off. They was reading the same shit that we was reading. Oh, niggas is having shootouts. Oh, this dude got shot in the head. Oh, this thing got washed up. Oh, somebody got robbed. Oh, Chief Keef got clapped at. Oh, Snow Billy got shot in his head. Oh, this dude from Rap-A-Lot got robbed. Like, people was looking at the same phone that I was looking at. So they saw force behind them. They saw action behind them. They saw the chaos magic behind them. What is chaos magic? That shit was unpredictable. You didn't know if you was going to get hit or not. You didn't know if you was going to get clapped or not. It's chaos magic. It's unpredictable. It's a dark energy. Motherfuckers move when they see shit like that. They move to the side. They ain't trying to go up against that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas out here rolling with the Grim Reaper. Certain people don't want to go up against that kind of energy. It's chaos magic. Nigga, the gangs represent chaos magic. You know what I'm saying? That's what they represent. That's what the niggas in Chicago that be online drilling and whatnot. That's all chaos. That's all chaos. And it definitely consumes. It's a all-consuming energy at some point. It will eat you alive. You have to be able to handle it with care. It's not for everybody. That's why everyone can't hold it. Everyone can't drink from that gauntlet. Everybody can't wield that sword. So many people try and they get destroyed. They self-destruct or they fall to pieces. So, with that being said, I want to give thanks to everybody who was showing love on the Cash App. You know, this was a good plate of food tonight. I want to give thanks in advance to everybody that leaves a tip for this dish right here. You know, this food for thought. Cash App, money sign, PHILMORELAND, PHILMORELAND, right? Because Empress B444, she's been blocked by YouTube from being my moderator. She's not even allowed to leave messages or whatnot or comments in the comment section. That's how hard they're trying to hate on this channel. They demonetized it. That's why you can't do a super chat. So it's just us and Cash App. You dig? That's all it is. To continue, you know, this thing right here, this thing of ours that we have going real good for 37 weeks. So I want to give thanks because all of y'all make it happen. You know what I mean? I want to give tremendous honors and praises and appreciation for everybody that appreciates the work that we do. Brother Blue Pill, my younger brother KT the Arch Degree, Mama Pill, Red Pill, and everybody around that oils the machine. You know what I mean? Because this is not done. This is not a solo mission. You feel me? This is not a solo mission. there's hidden hands. You know what I'm talking about? The moon, nigga. There's hidden hands behind the scene moving things. You dig? So you already know what it is. We finna turn up. We gonna be in Brooklyn this weekend on Sunday at Nicholas for the Dr. Delbert Blair Memorial, where Brother Red Pill, Blue Pill, Hank Rosin, King Simon is throwing it, Sister Cafunia, Ross Ben, and a whole bunch of other people. We're gonna be pulling up. We're gonna be giving it up to the OG, Dr. Delbert Blair, the master teacher, the legend, the Chi-Town legend who laid it down. You know what I mean? The metaphysics mastermind the metaphysic mastermind who laid it out. The prophet. Yeah. So we'll be in Brooklyn on Sunday at Nicholas Bookstore starting 4 p.m. And I want y'all to pull up and be in the building. All right, UK, we'll see y'all in October. Dig? So, make sure y'all go to Brother Rich new channel, Brother Rich 363 on YouTube. We got a new video that we did about Tekashi. YouTube, Brother Rich 363. And make sure y'all go and stream Holy Ghost Part 2. Holy Ghost Part 2 on Tidal, Spotify, Apple, everywhere where music is streaming. That I need urgent, suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath. When you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh. Check out that Holy Ghost too, y'all. Peace.